Okay, very good. Peter, I give the word to you.
Yes. So I will share my screen and show you the education.
Oh yeah, maybe I can say in the meantime, Peter and Ola are from EILO, which is the Scandinavian branch corporation of interior planters. And they developed the tool in Swedish. And every interior planter in Sweden, Norway, Denmark, who's a member of NILA, can have their personnel educated in this tool for a very low amount of money. And then this personnel gets certified and can work with all NILA companies. And that's actually the trick we want to repeat now for the whole of Europe with the English version. So that's what it is. It's a tool to educate the servicing staff. Peter is one of the developers.
Yes, exactly. So I'm representing NILA here today, but work in the plant service industry normally, so to say. So this is a side job for the association, and NILA have had this education since 2005, I think, and now we're moving it into a new platform, as you can see here on the screen now. You can see my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Good. And we're also adding more languages to the platform, and we have decided to use this platform with which is web-based, and that you can use it really easy with an iPad or iPhone, and it should be easy for people to read the content and also do the questionnaires. So you should be able to sit on the bus to work, for instance, and go through each chapter. So as you see here, this is the universe of the education, so to say. So it contains of these worlds. I call them nodes, and you start basically from node 1 over here to the left, and then you work your way through each node to the end, which is chapter 19 is the last one, and then you have the final exam. So now I'm logged in as a user. My name is up to the right there, Peter, and I will show you.
You're logged in as a student, actually. That's what you say.
Yes, I'm a student here, and there's also a teacher panel, administration panel, where you can follow the students and see how they're doing, how their progress is, and what questions they have answered, etc. So I will quickly, I can show you first how it's built up. So this is the node. If you click the big node, then you have the goal of this chapter, so to say. And then you have the yellow ones is content text that you go through. And on each node, you also have questions, multiple choice questions. We have decided to have multiple choice questions to make it easy for, it will be less administration around the education if we use multiple choice, and then it's corrected immediately instead of having a teacher going through each answer, etc.
So for the students, he gets rewarded immediately, like you have so many answers right, and then you can continue to the next node.
Yes, so we just check all questions, and then you get in the bottom, okay, 5 correct answers out of 6 or whatever.
Okay.
So, and if you, as you see here, it's the checkbox is ticked in this questionnaire here, then you know that, okay, I've done this part already. So that's how you work your way through each node. You read the text, then done, and you get the checkbox on the content. And so it's easy to come back the next day and know where you ended the day before. So that's how all the nodes is built up. I'm going to quickly move through the education and show you each chapter so that you get an idea of the education, what it contains. So chapter 2 is the importance of plants. Chapter 3 is plant names. Chapter 4, plants, needs and threats. Chapter 5, pruning. Chapter 6, ergonomics. Chapter 7, communication and conduct. Chapter 8, customer service. Chapter 9, planning your work. Chapter 10, knowledge of the plant.
That's a very big chapter, isn't it? That's a chapter with subchapters.
That's a whole tree structure on families. Like you can follow, let's say, okay, Hedera.
Yeah.
And all the different connected species, so to say.
So if a student has finished this course, and because this is, knowledge that you don't have 100% ready just after the 40 hours of the whole course, but can you come back to it and then say, oh, I have a error now, can I look at it again?
Yes, it's possible to have these. You can have a user for a period of time. It's not going to be forever, but I think that needs to be decided how long a user can have the education available, because in this chapter, for instance, let me show you here. You have the plants that all the plants that is that have information on how to take care of them, what could damage them, and where you can locate them in a room, for instance. And this is 100, I don't know, not 100 maybe, but the plants that is most important to know, I would say. So it's good to come back after a while if you're a new employee and you start with education and then you work for a couple of months, then maybe it's good to come back to it. So that's the thinking.
Can you show the example checks for knowledge on one of the plants? I'm just curious, like what kind of things are you looking for them to know about these specific species?
What plant is this? Anyone know?
ZZ plant.
Yeah. So you have to check which plant it is. That's one of the tests.
Yeah.
Okay, so identifying which is which, but is it also about like the specific needs of different plants?
Yes, it's questions about that as well. Especially in the final exam, I would say. There's a few questions as well. But it's more, you could say, like, if in the questionnaires in the nodes is quite easy to get through. And the final exam is more detailed questions and more difficult.
Because you have another note about watering, for example, and another note about light.
Yeah, of course, it's
Of the plant. So, yeah.
so it's chapters on, for instance, watering of the plant, and that is more detailed than it is on each node here for each plant, so to say. Here it's like aglonema. On different aspects of aglonema and how to take care of them. Plenty of water, light location, spiraling at dark location. Spinning mites can occur when placed in bright light, etc. So it's quite good information to have a glance at, so to say. Was that an answer to the question?
It sure was. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so chapter 11 is structure of the plant. It's detailed information on how the plant is built up, and also the plant physiology, where we mentioned the photosynthesis, for instance, that we all should understand how that works. We have growth medium, organic, inorganic, etc. Chapter on water. How does the water reach the leaves, for instance? It's always it's a pump in the tree. That's interesting. No, but it's detailed information around water.
I have a question. Do you have to go through all the information before you can go to the next step and take the exam?
No, it's if you know everything, you will get the correct amount of. If you have 80% correct answers on the final exam without reading the notes, I would say that you still passes the course. It's no.
There's no check on that.
No, it's no check on that.
Yes, but it's good if the coordinator does check it a bit. You know, it's still a human affair, education people, but it's not a technical barrier to it.
Oh.
Because maybe it's good to show the end for the teacher or the coordinator or the.
But is it possible for the teacher to check if you have been through the whole content and what you have looked at and what you have?
Absolutely. So I will see. I will show you in a bit. If the user check done on this content, you get the green checkbox. And if I go to, I'll stop share and share again here. I go to the admin part of the platform. And I have all the participants here to the left. I have myself here. So I can go in and have a look at how far this user have come. It's a checkbox on chapter 1 here. It's 3 out of 4. So I can follow them. Also here you have let me see.
Progress bar. You see
a progress bar, yes, on the top. And I can see each. Okay, this is all the participants. I can look at myself here and see exactly what I've answered. So this is how we follow each student.
Yeah.
So it's quite easy as a teacher to follow the students, and this platform is built for schools, so they use this tool in many what do you call it in English? Yeah, in many, not in high school, but what do you call it? Prime school. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very logical and easy to work with.
But you are using it also in Sweden already for a long time. Ola, you just said you had new staff, new personnel, you sent them through this tool, and then do they usually come back educated enough? Is that your reality, or do you have a feeling that a lot of students skip the questions and?
No. I would say that 100% is going through the material and do everything very seriously. So
Yeah, they're not at the age of 13 years old that want to skip.
no,
Yeah.
they want to learn and do it the right way.
And then in the reality, in the practice, can they go do their work independently of others quickly after education, or do they still need some working time in the company after that?
I think, I mean, it's always a problem to get all the information to the new employee the first days. if you give this education to them, they will have a good overview on what's required of them, because it's focused on being a plant service technician. So it's even customer scenarios like, okay, if you come out at the customer site and it's a plant missing, what should you do? And it's also then how to communicate this to the customer in the proper way. So it's a really good start.
Yeah, but it's not 100%. Of course, I understand. You cannot.
No, not 100%, of course, but really good, I would say it is.
If you told me already, it's like 40 hours per student study weight.
Yes,
so you can
approximately.
Yeah, so you can hire someone and then say, the first 2 weeks you're not doing anything, you're doing this, and then you should be finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's often like this also, that you find a person that says claims that he knows everything. What's it about to be a plant service technician? Then you can also give the education to see what kind of level they have.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Should I, do you have any questions on the admin part here, or was it quite clear?
It's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to use this for your staff, Darren?
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing in the UK whatsoever where people can, I mean, they can access this information, but all in one portal like this is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's something that,
Yeah. The EILO will coordinate the English version. So actually, I think a lot of people from UK will start using it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, and I think in countries like the Netherlands, young people are equally good in Dutch as in English. And it's also the idea, because the French are adopting this now. UNEP is translating it in English, in French, and they found a school that will do the teacher work. And in the Netherlands now, I'm since a week talking to Zone College to be that kind of school. And they can be the teacher that coordinates the study. And then it's a cost. It will probably cost for a company like you between 300 and 500 euro per student to do this. And because I don't know the cost exactly, because we don't know yet who will be the tutor and what that will cost. But the technical tool will cost like 200 euro per student for using the tool. And then we put something on it to do the administration and the coordination. So that's what it will be also for Moss or for every other company that wants to use this for his or her personnel. And then we have a Europe, because it's certified in the Nordic countries. It will be certified in France. Well, if the English version is exactly the same as in these other countries, that's what we try to coordinate from EILO on. Then for young people, an extra argument will be that whether they have done the course in France or in Sweden or in England or in the Netherlands, they can work with all EILO members in other countries.
And are you aiming this specifically at schools and not to companies? Or
Well,
both?
both. So if you, Darren, say, well, we like our staff to be educated in this tool, then students which have done the course in the Netherlands can apply at jobs
Sure.
in your company.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that for young people to travel around Europe and have a universally acclaimed education in their pocket is an extra stimulus to do it.
No, yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why we think at EILO that this is a very good idea to do, and it also gives EILO a real place. You know, this is the big problem for all interior planners, and you said the same actually, Kelly. Now is the time to scale up, and now is also a time that a lot of people from other sectors, which are very good, working in events or working in restaurants, losing their jobs. And that we can give them a new look on working in green. Yeah, because we all predict that green will be big. In the first part of this webinar, we're talking with people in Poland, and they were, growing also in their business. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Because you are in Amsterdam, I presume.
That's correct.
Yes, and in Amsterdam, young people speak English just as easily as Dutch, isn't it? For you, it's no barrier to offer an English education.
No, I would say no, not in Amsterdam, but however, like the Hoveniers,
Yes.
Dutch is certainly the preferred language.
Yeah, they would
And
like.
I do think that this educational platform would really be useful for the Hoveniers. I think it's more like, so Moss, we're really on the design side. And for us, it's very international, and English is the language that we operate in. Of course, I'm from America, so that's what I also prefer. But I think for, a lot of people which are working in the realm of landscape, Dutch could eventually be useful for that community.
Yeah, of course, but then it should be translated into Dutch, and then you have a different version. But EILO will manage the English version, so that smaller countries and everybody who has staff that is good enough in English can start using it right away. And then the French have their own version, and the Germans are considering an own version, and I'm talking to the Dutch. So
I would love to see if some architecture and design schools also implemented this as a lecture or as a sort of
PPD,
as one of the courses, because so many architects now, they're already photoshopping trees in their buildings. They are rendering amazing green designs in their projects, but they don't understand what it takes to make it happen. And I suppose that's why we're in such a unique position now, because we do hold the answers to those questions about how to make it work. But I think with the amount of interest more and more people are having with plants, and you see this year more people bought houseplants than ever before in history. That's it's not a coincidence. And when people are going back into buildings, they're going to want the green right there with them. So yeah, I think it's really important what you guys are doing to spread this knowledge and to disseminate the information and to get that out there. It's really great.
I'll talk with Silke tomorrow, and with the VHG also.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Small world, yes. But this is a good idea to have architects to have this as a minor thing in their big education, because 40 hours is like nothing as a study weight. And my experience is too that architects they think in blocks and in color and in structure, but they don't think about light and watering and well, it's all our experience at EILO. We hear about it all the time, and that some of them at least start to know a little bit more about plants is a great asset for all of us. Yes, I think that too. Darren, do you know about the how do you say it in the plants at work, how they think about this, or other English companies?
I think there's I mean, I studied interior landscape design 30 years ago, and I think we were the last people on that course. And after that year, it stopped and has never been repeated. So there's no teaching of any college, in any colleges or any schools, of what I would call indoor landscaping, pot plants, plants in built environments since 30 years ago. So the only training available is in-house with the companies, or you might do 1 day a week at a college, but that's about horticulture in general. So it could be fruit production, growing lettuces, you know, not just specific on interior plants.
Yeah.
So I think most people that are in the industry at the moment have been taught by us, our generation. And so they've gleaned that from our knowledge, from our education, but there's been no specific courses for anybody to attend. So this is, you know, to me, this is brilliant. And obviously everything is switching to online learning.
Yeah.
So you don't need to go to a college as such. You can get a job. We can employ someone and have on the job learning, training, as well as this course. So it gives them a certificate, some sort of thing to work towards, rather than just shadowing someone for 3 weeks and learning what they do when they go to their jobs, and learning maybe their bad habits or whatever.
And forget,
You know,
something, you know, that's the, yeah. So it would be great if you know, the English would come as a group to use it, because that would be a great foundation for the English version. But let's try to contact the other bigger companies in the UK about this. That should be a good follow-up on this.
Definitely.
Help me a bit with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I'm not currently a Plant at Works member.
No.
Reason being, I think that EILO is better, and covers a bigger, you know, spectrum of what we do in the UK and, you know, worldwide or Europe-wide, certainly. I think that the trouble is our industry is so small that most people are just sort of concentrate on what they do on a day-to-day basis. They're not really looking to educate people. They don't have the time or the resources. But now something like this is a resource that they can, you know, relatively inexpensive. So yeah, I think it's good, and the education of the young generation is our future. There's no one coming up. Everybody in our industry is old as such, or older, and it's really hard to sort of try and convince people to come into this industry.
And at the same time, the demand in the market is huge. So
Yeah, absolutely.
mail me some email addresses of the bigger companies in the UK, so that I can contact them, so that like four or five bigger companies in the UK are supporting this, then we're, you know, I think the English version is covered.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the basic cost of maintaining the platform, etc., and finding a good tutor that will help to alleviate you from the job of coordinating the students.
Yeah.
That would be great. And if we just have a bigger group of potential students, then I'm fairly confident that this will work.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's very, very good.
Yeah, thank you. Because Peter already said he's almost ready with the English version. That could, yeah, let's say it could go live in after the summer holidays, I think. Peter, is that a realistic
Yeah, absolutely.
scenario?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think
Early.
that's also a good moment to do it. September.
Yeah.
So you ask if that's a good moment for the English, or?
for everybody to launch new education, to launch it in the new season after the holidays.
Yeah, I think for the new term in September, then yeah, definitely. That's something to look forward to, and that's the start afresh. The new term, new semester, whatever you call it. Yeah.
Yeah, and the price like 300 to 500 euro per student is a normal price for both companies.
Definitely, because I'm sure we could, on our case, we probably get funding from local government that would give us funding to support taking on people as new trainees, and that would be part paid for, and then so it's there's an incentive there to do that.
Very good, very good. Yes, because in Poland they were looking at Erasmus as a funding opportunity, but that's not for UK anymore.
Yeah, well, say no more.
Then I don't say anything anymore. So thank you for your enthusiastic feedback. And are there any other questions from anybody? Shall we stop the share that we can look at each other?
One question is from me for now. I think it was great to get a little overview, and I think it's really interesting. And again, I applaud you guys for doing this. It's so important. This will really help us to, I think, spread more abilities around the world with where more green spaces can go. So that's really important.
Yeah, everybody wants to be in green and nobody wants to work in it. That's such a
I think they want to work in it. They just don't know how. They don't know, what.
Right, I don't know how to look after it.
Yeah.
No, but if it's a job, I know a lot of people in the permaculture world, for example, and they really would love to work in the winter and then to work on the ecosystem restoration project in summer, for example, or they want to travel all over Europe. Well, if we have an education that offers that option, then that will be extra staff for you as a company for 2 days a week or for the winter period or whatever. And but also a part of those people will stay in their country, of course. But this is an extra group to be attractive to. Yeah. And they also learn to take care of plants, which is very good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Peter and Ola from NILA. You have developed the thing, and that was like 100,000 euros of work, hours of work, and we're all gonna profit from it. And EILO will coordinate the whole thing to make sure that all countries stay in the same zone and don't start changing the education in one country or another. And I hope this will do as we all hope so. Yeah, maybe in the United States too, but that's a later chapter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a
Bye.
good one.